Hello, Happy New Year, welcome to 2019. I'm Mark and this is my little gaming channel about my board games and battle reports. So, I was at the Salford, South Manchester Gaming Haven, which is in Salford, just the other night, and I managed to play a new game. It's by Modiphius Entertainment, Wasteland Warfare, Fallout Wasteland Warfare. I took some pictures of the game. It was an impromptu, I didn't really know I was going to take some, so I started the pictures about turn 2, but this is how it went, and it's a bit of an upgrade to my OBS Studio YouTube skills as well. Here we go, look, got backgrounds now. Going to be working on that in the future, but let's focus on the game for now. Anyway, here's a nice close-up of some of the models. I'm guessing we're playing a demo scenario. I am the green super mutants. I have one human slave as well in my team, and I have 2 dogs. And this, because it's turn 2, this is a big Death Eater. That's a neutral model. It could have gone for either team. We'll get into his tactics in a moment. So that's the first picture. So what was going on in, what was the demo scenario? In the demo scenario, it was a 3x3 mat, and we were both started on the left-hand edge, on literally like a thin sliver on the corner, and our objective is to get to the middle of the right-hand edge, as it's some sort of cave or settlement that we're going to be safe in. So we've got to lead our band of survivors, wasteland survivors. Each time you activate a unit, you flip a coin with a yes or a no on it, and after 5 yeses, that causes this Death Eater to appear in the middle left-hand side of the board. And he can now start chasing you down. He's literally just going to go for the closest, move towards the closest, and then if he can charge you, he'll charge you. If not, he'll move again. As the game progresses, so the game is based on action system. You have 2 actions, so you can move and move and shoot, or you can ready. If you're ready, you're basically storing your action to use again on one of your next activations. So if I readied this green unit, my opponent then gets 2 actions. I can then move one of my other units, and then I could choose to move one of my readied ones. And you can even ready your entire team. When it comes down to the last person to move, he moves, and you can then move your entire team. I can see that being some sort of tactical choice. I didn't really see it too much in this game. My opponent used it and just readied, and then moved all the way up the left-hand side. I was generally just moving to get closer and doing diagonal movements directly towards the right-hand side. Anyway, let's move on. So, a bit more about the game here. We can see that it uses this green template and this black template underneath it. That's how you move around. I'm guessing there are measurements for these, so you could use a tape measure if you wanted. But the models of the cards, which you're going to see soon, dictate that this character moves the green token, the red token, the blue token. So that's very simple, nice and visually clear. And so this is about turn 3, I guess, nearing it. I've moved my mutant dogs from this left-hand side. They've been charging up to this wall, and then they've charged up to that wall, so trying to stay out of line of sight of him as he moved up behind this wall. He's charged his dog after my hounds. This guy was a little bit silly. He's gone out in the open. I wasn't sure on ranges at that point, but ranges work off the movement tools as well, so that would say add a green and a red token together, and that is your range. And generally, if you're in the second tokens bracket, that would be long range. That's how that works. He's my leader. As I said, scenario, we want to get to probably this little bit of the road on the right hand side. You can see my mouse hovering about, and he's the one I need to get to there. He's got a similar one that he needs to get to there. So we can either kill each other's leader, or after turn 6, it's whoever is the closest there. So it's not going to go too long, it's only going to go 6 rounds. Something else to note, these spanner cogs, they're objective tokens. There are 5 of them, like a 5-sided dice on this map. My leader's on 1, there's 1 in the middle, there's 1 down here. And we can use that if you've got a unit on it. You can use an action instead of moving or shooting, and when he presses it, it causes a siren to go off, and you can use that siren to move the Death Eater. You can either repulse it or lure it towards the siren, basically. And that is that scenario. Here's a little bit of action shots, and now we can talk about the dice. I can see them in the picture. So his dog charged mine. He's got 2 tokens on him here. This means that his next action, so he did a move and a charge. He didn't get to fight on that round. Next turn, if he's still alive, he would get an extra black and a green dice added to his normal attack dice because of his charge action. So here we can see, this must be his attack actually. So he's got, you always roll the white dice. If you're familiar with Descent, it's a bit like the blue dice, which you always roll when fighting. And it has numbers on it, and it has a cog symbol on it, which gives you an extra action if you roll it, and a cross symbol on it, which means you miss completely, no matter what all the other numbers and dice stats are. Your card would have a stats. It will say roll under 8, and that would mean you're a hit. So this, I can't remember what numbers they go up to. You can see a 7 and an 8 here. 8 was my good shot. I think some of the more basic grunts have to roll under 3 and such like that. I can't really do an analysis because it was just the first game down night, very impromptu. So some attacks will say add green dice, so these add pluses and minuses, and bursts, which are like extra damage. So normally a weapon would do 2 damage, mostly from what I saw. That would then add it to 3 damage. This one, similar, the black dice, it seems like a more damage dice, so you've got add 2 damage, and I think there are other special effects on there. On this green dice, more special effects. This one's got like a break armor, so it's like a strength attack. So that would ignore the armor of whatever you're shooting at. And again, armor tends to go to 1, 2, 3, and sometimes 4. Death Eater had 4 because that's a hard neutral animal. And his power armor suit had 4. Well, he had 3 plus 1, so if you rolled one of these and the damage got through, you knocked a bit of his armor off, so it went down to 3 permanently for the rest of the game. And that is that scenario. So I think his dog actually takes out my larger hound. He's got a better armoured dog. Anyway, we'll move on. Here's a close-up of his team. 2 basic survivors. We've seen his dog, a fallout suit, and that's his leader. I can go into more detail, but you see a card, and these are equipment tokens depicting what weapon and special shenanigan cards they have. Here's a close-up of my team. So I've got a hound on the right here, and he's got a hound bite. So you can see that one is a black, a yellow, and a blue dice to attack. This shield means he's doing 2 damage when he does it. And then there are special effects. He's got special effects on here, means that he can leap over terrain. And here are his stats. We can't quite see them, so we've got strength, finesse, I think, is what they call it in Fallout. It's like dexterity for ranged attacks. Endurance, how many hit points you can take. I can't quite make that one out. Agility, intelligence, I'm guessing luck, because I remember that's popular in Fallout. And then this red box here is your armour, what you need to roll under to try and negate some of the wounds that I've got through if they have hit you. There's another red dice for that, which I don't think is any more like pictures. If you roll under your armour number, so I need to be rolling 1s for most of mine, then that takes the damage off. Sometimes if they only do 1 damage, job's a good one, you've deflected it. So here we've got some more weapons. He's got grenades this guy's carrying, fragmentation grenades, pipe wrench, bolt action pipe rifle, and other shenanigans that you'll see within the actual computer game as well. And here are some more movement tokens. Here's a yellow one. So here you can see this mutant moves a yellow. If he charges, he can move a red. This human can move a red, and he can charge on a red. And my leader can move a yellow, but charges on a green. And the dogs move on a red and charge on a blue. So just about making out size differences there. The last turn you saw my leader was on a objective token siren. He managed to push the Death Eater off my mutant here so he could escape. He's really still a sacrificial lamb, but when he pushed it off, he got a free attack on the Death Eater, so he's plinking away, but it's got such high armour. I think I do like 3 or 4 damage to it, but it's got 12 in total, so I don't think I get to kill it in this game. But I try and run off, but it can just chase me each time. But it does mean it doesn't get its attack straight away, so I'm sort of just prolonging my life, because I don't want this thing joining battle over here and coming in my rear. I believe he's not. So my guy in cover ran to cover behind this barricade, and I've got my human slave behind the barricade as well. My leader was out in the open, so he's come behind the barricade, because I'm trying to time it so when turn 6 comes around, I can either charge into combat or get close to this edge. He's quite a tank, he can take a lot of damage, so I need to see what I can do to take out his fallout suit. Grenade guy sort of tests his range. He's just out of range, so instead he tries to go and help his buddy out and use the siren collar again, but it does put him out in the open. He's only got 1 hit point left. I don't think it survived really much what I did if I kept him in cover or not. My large mutant hound has eaten his dog and has charged on, tried to keep behind the wall, and he was all clustered in this corner here, but he's fallen back to try and shoot my hound, and his fallout suit is going for the defending the objective area, and he's taking shots at my guys. I'm taking shots and I managed to take off. You remember that +1 armor that I mentioned on the previous slide? So he's now down to 3 armor. That gives me better chances of trying to win him next time, but still very tough opponent. So close up, this is his leader. He also falls back and tries to shoot my dog, so it keeps my dog stays alive on 1 hit point. And now it's getting very tense. My leader has a sledgehammer. His fallout suit has a baseball bat. Let's see what close combat's like. I charge him, so I give him my black and my green dice. Whack away on my sledgehammer, swing away, boy. And it's devastating because remember those dice I showed you, the yellow ones? He rolls 2 yellow dice, I think, if I remember correctly, for his sledgehammer, and that had the wreck armor. So he ignored all armor and just slammed into them. So he already taken a few shots from my guys. Let's see, there we go, he's gone down, taking him out. But now my leader's in a vulnerable position. There are 3 human survivors, and he's going to be taking shots at me. I've got 8 hit points. He can potentially do 12 damage, and then he's also got potentially rolling those cog icons which I mentioned, which give me extra attacks. And that's background, so that's the last photo I took of the game. So I was literally stuck. Let's get back to that one. Bump, bump, bump. This one, after I taken him out, I had the choice: do I charge him? Because I worked out that his leader couldn't get closer than my leader, and there's a choice of just moving away and tanking out the shots, that's the choice I took. Or would it have been better if I charged him, denied him an attack? I wouldn't have had another attack, so I used my attack to kill him, so I would have charged and not been able to swing again. But he would have had to disengage to shoot me. Disengaging, I might have taken a swing at him and killed him. I think that would have been the better option in the end. But anyway, new to the game, so that was that. So that's my demo game of Wasteland Warfare. That's a demo scenario. Just tends to be this side versus that side with the barricades. At least it wasn't just a kill each other scenario. It did have an objective to run to, so that's good. And let me know what you think. Have you bought into this game? Do you play it? Do you play it in the Manchester area? Let's see, this is my local gaming shop. So Wednesday nights was Salford Manchester Gaming Haven. You can find them on Facebook with that name. They sometimes come to this the Forge on Sundays. I think it's the first Sunday of every month. But here you can see their general itinerary of the Forge. Champions, Keyforge, Transformers on Tuesdays. Wednesdays they've got D&D going on, and I tend to play Kill Team on Wednesdays as well. Thursdays X-Wing, and I know they were playing Keyforge yesterday. Friday is their official Kill Team day, but these are all just suggestions. If you go onto their website, the Forge Manchester, make a post saying, I've got this game, do you want to bring it down, and see if anyone will play. Someone will generally respond and say, yeah, I can make it tonight. And on Wednesdays that tends to be a board game night, and then Saturdays and Sundays keep an eye out on their website because they do leagues and such like that. So that is it. So I'm just showing off a few tips and tricks I've learned on the OBS Studio, which is a recording program that I use, and that'll do for me. I'm going to stop recording there. Have a nice 2019. Hope you roll lots of critical hits and everything goes as planned.